Hey everybody, Dr. Kim Ortega here to talk to you today about our 10 commandments for good communication. Now normally we have this conversation with our patients that are hearing impaired and their families. However, it's kind of good rules of thumb for anybody, even those of us with normal hearing or those who have no hearing at all. Our 10 commandments are split into 5 for the speaker and 5 for the listener because both are equally important to have good communication. So let's get started with the speaker. Number 1, thou shalt get the listener's attention before you start speaking. Easiest way to do this, call their name. Make sure they're paying attention, make sure they are actively listening before you start speaking. Number 2, thou shalt look at the person while you're speaking to them. People with hearing impairment oftentimes rely on a lot of facial cues when they're listening. Some are even actively lip reading. So please, continue to look at the person when you're speaking to them. Don't cover your mouth in any way, and most importantly, don't walk away in the middle of what you're saying, and don't try to talk to them when they are in the living room and you are in the kitchen. Number 3, thou shalt not speak in competition with any noise. Noise is very difficult for people with hearing impairment to hear in. So, turn down the TV, turn down the radio, turn off the water faucet. If you have control over the noise, turn it off before you start speaking. Number 4, thou shalt speak in slow, understandable sentences at a normal volume. When people with hearing impairment say, huh, what did you say? Oftentimes it's because they didn't understand what you were saying, not that they didn't hear you. So when they ask you to repeat yourself, slow down, and enunciate. Don't automatically raise your voice because you think they didn't hear you. Then that person's going to think you're yelling at them, and they're going to yell right back. Not good for communication. Number 5, thou shalt be patient. Please remember that nobody asks for hearing impairment. They are not trying to be difficult deliberately. Hearing impairment is difficult for everybody involved, especially the person that has a hearing loss. Moving on to our last 5 commandments, these are for the listener. Number 6, thou shalt pay attention. If somebody calls your name, stop what you're doing and actively listen. Number 7, continue to pay attention. Put the newspaper down, put the TV on mute, do whatever you need to do to actively listen to that person. Rolls right into number 8, thou shalt look at the person when they're speaking to you. Again, concentrate on what they're saying, pay attention to what they're saying. Don't turn around and walk away halfway through because you think you've got the gist of what they were saying. Also important, if you need to move closer to the person to be able to hear them, get up and move closer to the person. Number 9, thou shalt ask the speaker to repeat only one time. If you did not understand what they said, ask them to slow down and repeat themselves one time. If you still didn't get it, ask them to rephrase it in another way. Lastly, number 10, thou shalt do whatever you can do to improve your hearing. This includes wearing your hearing aids if you have them. They were a big investment that you and your family made. They are meant to be worn all day, every day, not just when you're out in public or when you're at work. Thanks so much for joining us today. If you guys liked this video and you're interested in seeing more, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Leave comments below on some topics you might be interested in hearing about, and we'll see you next time.